From the time we're kids, many of us get this constant stream of messages about how to deal with tough feelings. They're short, they're to the point, and I'm willing to bet they sound pretty familiar.
Right? It usually starts with this one, a simple command, almost a reflex, meant to build us up. Be strong.
And if the tears start to well up anyway, it's often followed pretty quickly by this instruction, don't cry.
And really, it all just boils down to this one core expectation. Handle it. Just manage it all on your own, keep it quiet, and definitely don't show anyone that you're struggling. But here's the thing about that advice.
See, when we ignore our emotions, they don't just poof, vanish into thin air. Nope, they relocate. They get shoved down, buried somewhere deep inside of us, and that starts to create some serious internal turbulence. And this whole process actually has a name. It's called emotional suppression. It's that deliberate choice we make to put on a brave face, to kind of lock it all down and stop our real feelings from showing on the outside. But what's really fascinating and frankly a little alarming is the huge gap between how we might look and what's actually going on inside our bodies.
And the science here is crystal clear. Research from Stanford psychologist James Gross shows that even when you look totally calm and collected on the surface, your body is screaming a different story. Internally, your stress response is firing on all cylinders. And let's be clear, this isn't a matter of being weak, it's just pure physiology. It's what our bodies do.
And this isn't just some abstract idea. It has a real physical price tag. We're talking about higher levels of the stress hormone cortisol, increased blood pressure, and a background hum of greater anxiety. And over the long haul, studies show that this habit can really damage our relationships and even significantly increase the risk for depressive symptoms. So here's the bottom line, really. An emotion that you allow yourself to feel, to actually process, it's like a passing storm. It might be intense for a bit, but it moves on. But an emotion that you constantly push down, that doesn't go away. It becomes a kind of chronic, low-level pressure that just lives inside you, day in and day out. And we can see the fallout from this on a huge global scale. A lot of cultural expectations, especially for men, teach that being vulnerable is the same as being weak. And because of that, men are often far less likely to ask for help or support when they're going through a hard time. And the consequences? Well, they're incredibly serious. According to the World Health Organization, the data is tragically stark. Suicide rates among men are significantly higher in countries all across the globe. This isn't an opinion or a theory, it's a devastating fact that the numbers show us year after year. I mean, just think about that for a second. Suppression doesn't make the feeling go away, it just turns it inward. All that stress, all that sadness, all that frustration, it becomes a part of your internal landscape. But what if there's a different way? What if we've been thinking about strength all wrong? For so long, the old way of thinking was that strength meant hiding emotion. But a much healthier and honestly a much more accurate definition is taking its place. Real strength includes emotional awareness. It's the courage to just acknowledge what you're feeling without needing to fix it or judge it. Okay, so that's the big idea. But how do we actually do it? How do we start making this shift? Well, it can begin with one tiny but incredibly powerful change in how we talk, moving away from that automatic response we all have. So instead of that knee-jerk, I'm fine, what if you tried just naming the feeling? It doesn't have to be a big, dramatic declaration. It can be as simple as saying, I'm feeling pretty stressed, or I'm a bit overwhelmed right now, or even just, honestly, I'm frustrated. This simple act, it's more powerful than you think. And this isn't just some self-help trick, by the way. There's real neuroscience here. Research from UCLA actually found that when you put a label on a feeling, you literally reduce the activity in your amygdala. That's kind of the brain's fire alarm. So by simply using a word, you're helping to regulate your own emotional response. You're actively calming your own nervous system. So let's tie this all together. If there's one thing to take away, it's this new framing of a really old idea. True, lasting strength isn't about pretending you don't have feelings. It's found in the quiet courage it takes to simply turn around, look that feeling in the eye, and acknowledge that it's there. And that really brings us to a final question, just for you. This isn't about trying to solve everything all at once. It's just about taking one small, gentle step. So what is one feeling, just one, that you can honestly name for yourself today?